social distance, mask and soap or sanitizer. Please follow these all things and please maintain the hygiene and take the good food. Right now, in the previous sessions we have discussed about the how the water cycle is forming and how the clouds are moving from the one place to another place and how the winds with the help of air, how the clouds are transporting or transferring from the one place to another place. Now with the help of the winds which are blowing from the southwest directions in the Arabian Sea is known as the southwest monsoon. Is southwest monsoon. Now in the same way, the winds which are blowing from the Bay of Bengal in the month of May between May to October, when they are coming from the southeast direction and when they are moving towards the north. Again after the month of October, these winds are coming down towards the south direction is known as the northeast monsoon, right, or retreating monsoon. Retreating monsoon, again about this term you are going to do in your 10th class. So here knowing about the monsoon is very important. And the monsoon is the Arabic word which is known as the monsoon. Monsoon is nothing but the rainy season. Now about the rainy season we have discussed how the three important terms, the evaporation, condensation and precipitation are helpful for the formation of the clouds and how they are causing the rainfall. With the help of the water cycle we have learned about the rainfall, everything we have done. Now here, coming to this class, here we are going to do one experiment that is about the rain gauge. Rain gauge is an instrument. Whenever we get the fever, the doctor will measure our temperature. We will get the temperature of our body, how much fever we have with the help of the thermometer. Right? In the same way for the BP machine, here we have the sphygmomanometer. Here with the help of the rain gauge is an instrument which is helpful for the measuring rainfall. So the instrument we are going to do rain gauge. Right? Here textbook we are having one experiment, page number 13. An instrument by which the rainfall is measured is known as rain gauge. The amount of rainfall for a unit area is measured in centimeters, in which we are not calculating the rainfall in the kilometers but we are taking in the centimeters. How do we measure the amount of rainfall? How do we find it? Nizamabad has more rain or Rangareddy. So here with the help of this experiment we can do the experiments. So for making the own rain gauge at home also you can start making the rain gauge an experiment. Right now anyhow the monsoon season is going to start, or it has started, but we are feeling very hot. Now whenever there is a rain, before rain only if you make this experiment, how much rainfall has been there in a particular place you can able to identify very easily. Now for this we want water bottle, cutter and scale. Right? Now cut the top of the bottle like this. Now here this bottle is fixed now beta. Right? Now here with the help of the cutter we need to cut the water bottle. Right? Now turn up the bottle upside down like this. Now before cutting the bottle is like this. But after cutting with the cutter, here we have to reverse the position where the opening face should be down. So when we are cutting it is looking like a funnel. So this down part will be, upper part will be in the downward direction. So here like this. Now fill the bottle with the sand and water till the spot where you can mark 0. So here there is no sand. Here you can see that. Now suppose till here we have the sand. till here if there is a sand, and we have to fill the water also. When we fill the water in the sand will absorb the water, and the remaining water after observation, the remaining water will be floating on the sand. So along with that we have to count. Suppose till here we have filled the water, right? Now down here in place of sand, here we have the chalk scissors and we have filled the water till here, and we are making one mark here, right? Now before going to start the measurement, we have to make one mark with any color pencil, and from here we have to start the measurement of the rainfall. And before going to start the measurement, we have to place this rain gauge or this instrument in such a place where there should not be a shadow or the rainfall water or the trees. Now during the rain is whenever it is raining, even from the wall side, when we have the roof, from there also we get the water. When the rainfall is taking place on the trees, that water also will fall down. So in such a place we have to keep this instrument where there is no shadow of the walls or there are no trees. In the open area we have to place this on our terrace. Now here, when you make the mark here, with the help of the scale, whenever there is a rainfall, with the help of the scale, you can measure the percentage, you can measure the centimeter of the rains. If it is a 2 centimeter, 3 centimeter, right? Now depending upon the centimeters, we can guess or we can say very easily that in my area, this much of this centimeters of rainfall has occurred. No, like this only, totally if we count day by day whenever there is a raining. So throughout the whole monsoon season, throughout the whole rainy season, this many centimeters rainfall has been taking place in my area. With this, we can able to get the information also very easily. I hope you have understood this. Now for this experiment, we require the water bottle. You can take any size, cut it with the cutter and do for the measurements. We have to use a scale, right? Now here again we have to cut and keep the bottle up and down until here it should be filled with the sand, and we have to pour the water. Wherever the water end stops, above that we have to start making the measurement, and we have to place this instrument in such a place where there is no shadow of the wind, no shadow of the wall, or there is no trees. In the open area we have to place this. I hope you have understood this one, right? Now moving to the second part. Now till rain gauge we have done with the part 1. Now moving to the part 2, that is about the flow of rivers. How rivers are flowing. From where they are getting the rain? From the water bodies, right? Now here in the water bodies, how they are forming and how the rivers are forming, we will see. Now lesson 2. Lesson 2 is nothing but about the part 2 we are going to read about the flow of rivers, right? Now, what happens to the water that falls on the earth? What will happen, beta? Now, during this rainy season, here you can absorb the water whenever there is a heavy rain. If it is a land area, if it is open land, right? Here the soil will absorb the water very easily. And if we have the more number of plants, even the plants also absorb the water with the help of the roots. Now, where there is no plants and there is the land is covered with the black tar, there is a road, main roads, or the covered with the cement road. Here in such places we can't see the absorption of the water. So that all water will go away and finally goes and join into the drainage system. Right? Here in the same way, where does water goes when the water is falling on the land area? So some of its percolates. Percolates means absorption of the water, and some left water will be goes out. Now rivers. Have you seen rainwater flowing in a small streamlets on sloping land? Yes. Now suppose in front of our house also, due to the more force of water, due to the heavy rainfall, the huge water will be moving in front of our house. Right? also in all the places. If there is a heavy rainfall in the one particular region, we can able to observe that. And once the speed reduces, there will be a small streamlets which is going in the slower direction and towards the slope area. Now here there is a high area and this is a slope area. Now when the water is coming from this side, here there will be a great force of water due because of the slope region, right? Now, water flows in a small streams from the mountain slopes during the rainy season. Now, whenever there is a heavy rainfall of the mountains towards the slope direction, towards the steep direction, there will be a great force of water. Here from here, the water will not go up. Right? Here anyway, because of the gravitational force, the water will be coming down from the higher level of land to the lower level of land, from here to here. It will not go up. Now, however, these streams dry up after some time. Nevertheless, water cuts into the channels on the mountains. But only during the rainy season, due to the continuous rainfall, we can see the slopes are forming on the mountains. Right? Now, here these streams are remain only for the few days. Only till we finish the rainy season only we can see this. And here these all water will be coming and joining in this small area. Now after finishing the monsoon winds, again these all channels will dry up. Again whenever there will be a rainy season, right? Whenever there will be a rainy season, again when there is a great rainfall, from the same streams only the water will be coming down. Yes or no? Yes. So here we'll see. Now, when it rains again, water flows down from the same channel. Again, there won't be the next channel here. Right? Next stream, there is no formation of the next stream. Again, when the second time it is raining, again the water will be coming from the first streamlets only. Now, in this way, the river courses and the river valleys are formed. So here, whenever there is a formation of the valleys on that, they will be remain forever. And whenever there is a heavy rainfall, again the water will be coming from the same old channels. So here these small streamlets are nothing but the valleys. What we call this? Valleys. Right? Now this process is shown in the figure. Here you can see. Here when the mountains are huge due to the heavy rainfall, we can see the small channels where now here when you are playing also in the sand, you will make the huge like a mountain shape. The help of sand you will make the small mountains, and when you pour the water here from all directions the water will be flowing. So in the same way here the valleys are also forming on the mountains. Right? Now transformation of a stream into a broad river. How this small stream is changing into a broad river we are going to read now. Yes? Now, as it soars, a river usually starts in the form of a thin stream. You know that here on the one mountain, here we can see the small streams are there on the mountain. As it flows further, it gets bigger and broader. Now, for the first time, the size of the width of the valley is very small. And the next time when it is raining very heavily, again the width of the valley will be increasing. It will become very broader and broader. Now when the valley is becoming very broader, we can see it can collect some more amount of water also. Now the smaller rivers or the streams which join a larger river are called tributaries. Now here these all streams not only from the one mountain, here we are having a more number of mountains, not nothing but the chain of mountains. Yes or no? Now from here the small valleys. With the help of the small valleys there is a formation of a big river, and this big river is forming with the help of the tributaries. Now this water is coming from the mountainous regions, from the hilly areas, and they are forming the small valleys. And when these all valleys are collecting the water, where it and they are forming the river. So these all valleys will come under the tributaries. You can underline that the smaller rivers of the streams will join a larger river. Now this valleys water is collecting in a small water body. When the same water body is connecting to the another water body, so this connection is also known as tributary. Right? This connection is also known as tributary. The chain of supply of water from the small valleys to the larger rivers is known as tributaries. As the river becomes bigger and broader, its flows get slower. It starts depositing the silt and sand it has carried on its bed and banks. So this causes the formation of the plains. Now, when during the rainy season, you can observe when there is a great force of water in your area, once the speed reduces, due to the force of water, it will collect all the garbage, everything it will collect. So whenever the speed of the water reduces, right, and the water speed slows down, you can see that the water is depositing all the heavy particles in itself, and remaining water will be flowing in the slow motion. So the deposition of the sand, silt is forming the flood plain. That is a plain area. Right? Here in textbook you can underline that one. Here, as the river becomes bigger and broader, its flows get slower. It starts depositing the silt and sand it has carried on its bed and banks. This causes the formation of plains. Plain is nothing but the flat surface area which is formed with the help of the sand and silt which is carried by the force of water. Now, here page number 15 we have, as it nears the sea, the speed of water in the river decreases and is no longer able to carry the silt and sand. So, how the rivers are forming, how the plains are forming? They are nothing but with the help of the sand and silt. Due to the force of the water, it is carrying the top layer of the mountains, the top layer of the surface of the area, and with the help of those, there is a formation of the plains. Right? Now about the formation of the plains, how they are helpful in our state, and in which directions and in which districts we have the plains. We are going to do in detail in the next session. I hope you have understood this. Please follow the homework. Homework, right? Write about drainage. About the experiment you have to write in classwork.